Hi, I'm here at Warped Tour 2011 with JR from Less Than Jake.
Hi, it's 2001 Warped Tour, and I'm in Less Than Jake. Hi, it's 1997 Warped Tour.
First of all, you weren't even in Less Than Jake in 2001 or 1997.
No, I wasn't Less Than Jake 2001.
Are you?
And 2000.
Are you been in it for that long already?
12 years. This is my 12th year entering.
Where does time go?
I don't know. You were much younger back then.
I was.
You were.
I used to wait hours just to see a glimpse of your face.
Now you can't.
And he would run.
Now I have to wait 10 minutes for him to show up.
Get a shot here. JR would leave. He'd run right to the bus, not sign autographs for anybody.
You know what? I still do that now. I don't really
talk
to anybody. I really don't talk to anybody. We'll go do signings and stuff like that, but people, for some reason, they'd rather talk to Chris or Roger.
Yeah, let's say they come to you like, hey, where's Chris? He's not here? Okay.
Yeah, where's Chris? Where's Roger? Who are you?
Well, my first question, you released the Greetings EP, and I sent you a private text.
You did.
It really is great. I wasn't just saying that to be nice, because you're my friend.
Well, thank you.
Did you record a whole bunch of songs for that EP, or that was the final?
We wrote, I think we had like about 10 different songs. We wrote about 15 songs.
Yeah.
And then after we went and we wrote all these songs, some of them sucked and some of them were okay, so we picked 2 out that were good. And then we wrote a couple of more songs, like 5 more songs. So there were like 20 shells, and out of the 20 shells, we thought 5 of them were really worth working on. Because we weren't really approaching it as a write a record. It was we were gonna write an EP. So I figure you have 5 songs, so those 5 songs better all be fucking good.
And they are.
Thank you. That's very nice of you to say that.
Are the other 15 not as good?
The other 15 aren't even songs. They just were
ideas.
Scrap. Yeah, they're just ideas.
Okay. So do you plan by the end of this year to have another EP or a full record?
We're going to continue to write songs, and how we release them is really up to us at this point. I don't know if it's going to be an EP or if we're going to release like what we're doing out here on Warped Tours. We made rolling papers. And you can buy the rolling papers for $5, which is about what the cost of the EP is. You get the rolling papers and you get a download code. That download code gets you the EP and the rolling papers. So you figure people probably don't want to buy CDs, but everybody wants to buy rolling papers. So maybe next time we'll fucking put out, I don't know, bottle cap opener or something. You know, something everybody needs, you know?
Well,
nobody needs a CD. Who the fuck wants a CD?
You know what? I've never smoked pot to this day, so now that you have these rolling papers, I might have to change my whole way of life.
Yeah, you know, I mean, they work, so come on over. You got to put the stuff in it, you know, in order to make it, or you can't just roll the papers.
What stuff?
Nothing. Tobacco.
I never asked you this before. You've been in the band for so long now. How much input do you have when you're writing these songs, if at all?
This time I had a decent amount, you know, not more than anybody else. I think this was a good showing of what the 5 of us can do when we all put our heads together, and really, that's really conglomerate work on these songs. We all worked on them together equally, I think. So, and that's why it sounds, the best compliment that we've gotten is it sounds like our band, but it doesn't sound dated. So that's good. You know, that's mission accomplished.
Now, you also put out the anthology DVD, which is awesome.
Cool.
Every album, except for GNV, of course, was before that.
Yeah, because it was before we...
First of all, why all the hate on them with the Out Crowd? It seemed like you guys did not want to play that record.
You know, we did not want to play that record. You're right.
Why?
Because at the time, it was 2007. It was right after it had come out. You know, we took a lot of, not just critical review, but we took a lot of fan criticism on that record. You know, and like, I still stand by that record. And like, in retrospect, we all do stand by that record. But, you know, people who didn't want to hear it, didn't want to hear it. They would much rather have been there for because the way that we did the shows was we didn't tell people what records we were playing where.
Oh, wow.
We just said this was, and so the first one was in with the Out Crowd, so no one was stoked. Because it's first night, we're like, yeah, hey, you hate it.
Get it out of the way.
Yeah, it's also a difficult record to play, you know what I mean? It's an easy record or whatever, but you know, people have their opinions, and opinions are like assholes, and everybody thinks that everybody else's opinions stink. You know what I mean? So like, who cares? I back the record, we stand by the record. If we didn't stand by the record, it wouldn't be in the DVD anthology. It wouldn't be.
Now, I also noticed on the DVD, your whole career, everyone's asking you to play old songs, but then you go and you play Pescore and no one there knows any of the songs.
No fucking songs.
So I guess you've learned now that when they say old, they mean losing.
Yeah, they mean, or rock, for some, it's Anthem now.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Because that's 8 years old, that record.
So out of all the records you played in their entirety, what was for you the most fun, personally?
Well, Anthem. That was the first record I did with Less Than Jake. It was the first, we, you know, recorded it in New Orleans, and then part of it in that Malibu house, the Morning View mansion, and like, it was crazy. You know, we had crazy parties, and I mean, great memories from that for sure. But I mean, they're all good. You know, the last little EP that we did was at Roger's house. You know what I mean? So to go from a mansion to Roger's house is like, it's about as fucking, you know, not that Roger's house isn't nice, but.
I mean, you did the records, but you did leave out Surrender. Is it just because it's a cover song?
Yeah, that wasn't, you know, when we didn't want to cover on the record, but the label was like, you know, you should do this cover. We're like, all right, well, we're gonna do a Cheap Trick song, but we wanted it separate from the rest of the record, like the idea of what Anthem was. And so that's why it's like a hidden track.
Like a bonus track.
Yeah, like a bonus.
You don't want to play it live.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I love that song. I love Cheap Trick, but why are we gonna play a song that they've already and continue to still play like way better than we ever did? You know, so
I'll throw you one more. I've known you for years, and you're always working on different projects. I know you were managing bands for a while. So what are you doing right now?
Right now, I'm doing Less Than Jake, and I'm doing what I feel we need to do in order for Less Than Jake to continue to be a band for another 20 years, because we're going into our 20th year next year. You know, so when you ask, what am I doing? I'm like, well, there's a lot that we need to focus on as a band. So everything that I've learned and, you know, managing and stuff, I'm focusing on our band, which is fun and cool, and I like doing it, and I don't have to get, I have to just listen to my guys whine. I don't have to listen to other guys whine. Not that anybody ever whined, you know, I still love the guys that I used to manage, but, you know, hey, I know I whine at our managers, so you know, I know how artists can be.
So right now, this is your sole project. No more Spring Hill Jack reunion shows.
I'll never say never on that, but you know, it took a lot to get the 2 that we did in 2010 off the ground. So it's probably a never. But like I said, it just depends on the stars line up right.
You're living day by day. I love it.
Yeah, you can't really plan for that stuff. It happens when it's the right time and it's supposed to happen. It happens.
All right, well, let's look in the camera. 2 best-looking guys on the Warped right here.
Can't help it.
Less Than Jake. Check them out. Look at the outcrowd. Best record.
DJ Rossstar.